I know. I know, and I'm also like, God, only do it to you. So thank you.
I know I'll always be that person for you.
Appreciate
Always.
you want me to go ahead and kind of grab it?
Well, no, I'll leave it.
Oh,
Thank you.
thanks.
Everyone, we're gonna get started here in a couple minutes. Just to give you a brief overview of what we'll be doing today and what you'll take away from today's class. So today is talking about listings within KW Command. So, but more specifically, what we're going to go over is if you get asked in a listing appointment, what can you do that's different than other agents, right? I'm going to give you that answer and a handout as well, so that you guys have a good answer for that. You'll see that a lot, of course, with expireds, right? Oh, my home expired because the agent didn't market it well enough. Well, the reality is probably that it's overpriced. But either way, I'm going to tell you the best scripts and takeaways to what you want to say to that listing appointment so you can convert them. All right. And also what we'll be doing is setting up systems around your listing marketing so that you can convert more from your open houses. As we're getting started here, if you want to go ahead and log into Command, we'll be working in Command today and Canva. So Command, right, agent.kw.com. That's where I am on my screen. Called Command, right? That's agent.kw.com, like it's KW login for agents, of course. And go ahead and log in. I'm going to get logged in here. And we'll start in about 2 minutes to just allow anyone else to get in here. I'm also going to pull up Facebook if you do want to have your Facebook open. And again, the Canva that you'll want to go to is canva.kw.com. 2 exclamation mark. All right. 4 times charm. All right, and then again, in another tab, if you'd like to pull up Canva, canva.kw.com. I'm going to show you best practices for your listing marketing with the goal of getting more listings from your current listings or open houses that you're doing. Even if you do not have a listing, this will still really pertain because it can convert open houses to more referral from your sphere. Okay. So again, I'm pulling up a new tab and I'm going to go to canva.kw.com. Canva.kw.com. So as you guys probably know, right, KW has a partnership with Canva. So you get free Canva Pro as a KW agent. So to get to that though, you'll always want to go to canva.kw.com to get all those pro features. And I am going to share with you guys in the Zoom chat. I'm going to grab it real quick. I have a handout that you can give to listing clients that shows exactly what you do that's different than other agents. So I'm going to pull that up as well and get that over to you guys. All right, and before we start and all that fun stuff, just to give you access to what your free resources are here at Keller Williams, right, around this marketing, because yeah, I'm going to tell you the best things to say as far as getting those listing appointments. However, if the time comes and you don't know how to do it, guess what? You can meet with us for free. So it's free for you guys to meet with us, kwbresources.com. So your free marketing help. So you get a listing and you're like, great, now what, right? How do I do the marketing I said I could do? On kwbresources.com, it says marketing help. You guys can meet with us every other week and we'll do it with you. If you need leverage, so it's more time sensitive and you want us to do it for you, we can do the complete white glove marketing for you, starting at $75, right? And I'll show you all the things that it does. But again, kwbresources.com, marketing help. Jump on our schedule. And then one more really great resource that you guys will want to keep in your back pocket. I would recommend bookmarking this site is answers.kw.com. So when you come to these classes and you learn what the KW tech can do, okay, a month later, you're trying to remember how to do it. Great, you can just use the search bar here. Let's say to search any term. You remember I said Facebook ad. right? You can search Facebook ad, and this is going to give you all the articles for KW Command specifically on how the best practices do that with little screenshots. So this is great. Of course, ChatGPT can read this, so it generally knows as well, right? But you can access that all on answers.kw.com. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to give you guys that handout that shows exactly what you can do for your listing marketing so that you can give it to your clients. Okay, this is something that we usually give to our clients. I'll just share that with you guys in the Zoom chat in just a second here. And also, while I'm signing in, feel free to drop in the chat or talk out loud. If there's anything specifically you would like to know about listing marketing or open house marketing, let me know and I'll be sure to prioritize that for you. And in the chat, I'm going to drop, it's a pretty long Canva link, but if you go in the Zoom chat and click on it, I wonder if I shared the editable version with you. I might have. It's fine. So if you do want to make a copy of this, so this is, I shared the editable version with you, which I meant to share it period with you, but you can edit this. I would just ask that if you edit it to click on file and make a copy so it's separate and doesn't edit my original. It's not a big deal. If you do, I will. But either way, okay, so what we're looking at here, and again, this is Zoom chat. If you're watching this later recorded, feel free to reach out to us at contact@JuLeah Designs. You can reach out to us with any questions for today's class, or if you want more info, contact@JuLeahDesigns.com. Right, we are your in-house marketing team at Keller Williams Valentine. All right, so what you're looking at here is a printable page that you can give to your any listing appointments, especially expired. I see this pop up all the time, right? They've listed before, they don't think that it was marketed correctly, right? This talks you through, and you can put this in your listing presentation as well, what you can do for them with your integration with the Keller Williams tech that other agents can't. And I'm going to verbalize some of this for you and then show you the how. This would be a good noteworthy moment because I'm going to give you a few best practice scripts on what you can say to expireds or just any listing that's asking you, how are you going to market, right? And of course, we know that 95% of buyers start their search online, right? So giving them stats and showing them that you are focused on the newest trends, right? So first of all, telling them, okay, so this is not on this sheet, but I mean, our logo is telling them that as a Keller Williams Valentine agent, even if we haven't worked together yet, it is still true that as a Keller Williams Valentine agent, you have an in-house marketing team, right? We've been doing this for 13 years, right? Studying just this specifically. So when you're talking to listings, that's something that sets you apart hugely. You don't even have to use us. You can come meet with us for free and I'll show you how. But the idea that you have an in-house marketing team that is focused on the best practices for marketing their listing immediately puts you above other agents that might not have that, okay? So always saying that, that's a great thing to lead with, you know, and if they do have questions about the marketing, you can always tell them that you'll run that by your in-house marketing team and I'd be happy to help you answer those. Okay, outside of that, let's talk about what else that you can offer. And it's all right here, so you don't really have to remember it, but to expand on it. So we'll be doing this in today's class. Yeah, social media strategy, obviously creating a listing post and posting it out. Okay, we all pretty well know how to do that. Okay, so the focus is not on the how, but more what's the strategy to get more referrals from your social media posts about listings. And again, if you don't have a listing, this applies to open house marketing. They do not understand that the general public doesn't get that you don't, like you're not the listing agent of the open houses, you do. So posting open houses with these practices for your listings will all apply. I'm also going to say the best strategy of sharing to groups and getting in front of more people based on what the algorithm today wants, okay? And just a quick note for you, not for your seller. In general, social media does not sell listings, right? The times that I've seen someone see a listing post on their friend's social media and buy that house would be very small. The point of you posting these on social media for you, for your business, to be honest, is to get more referrals from your sphere, showing the wins, the credibility, the authority behind your business, okay? And we'll get more into that. Next, down here, this one's an important one for you guys to know. Online exposure. So, and there's a graphic on the second page if you scroll down that you'll see that I love, okay? When you list your the home in the MLS, because of the MLS and the Keller Williams technology, their listing syndicates to over 350 websites across the internet. Okay, 350 different real estate websites, and phrasing that because of their partnership with you as the agent and Keller Williams, right? That's what gives them maximum online exposure. Okay, and you'll be able to show them with this graphic right here. And again, I would print this out for any listing appointments. You can post it on your social media, email it, I don't care, you're welcome to. And I mean, since you guys have the editable link, you could always throw your logo on it. But if you don't mind, if you do edit it and put your logo on it and headshot, you're welcome to. Please just click file and make a copy so that your copy is not editing mine. Not the end of the world if you do. Okay. Outside of that, right, partnering with Keller Williams, you have a very strong global network of Keller Williams agents. So especially if the script around that one is, especially if it's a listing that's having a hard time selling, right? You're not just an agent that's going to throw it in the MLS and hope and pray, okay? What they get with Keller Williams is you can actually reach people from other states. So let's say it's a bigger lot. I mean, even a half acre would be a huge lot for California or New York, right? And I'm going to show you how you can really get it in front of those cities through Facebook ads. And but in general here with your affiliation with Keller Williams, there's Keller Williams agents everywhere. Here are a couple more things that are really good for you to know. Print marketing. And I'm going to show you this, okay? We're about to get started in the show you the house. But what you can say there for the print marketing, for your knowledge, in command, you can send postcards directly to a map of, let's say, the 200 closest homes around the listing. You don't have to have their physical addresses. Command has that information. Print marketing has really made a comeback since COVID. So I'm going to talk to you about the strategy, but telling them that you can market their listing via print, right? As well. That's another media channel. Yeah, okay, all agents are posting it on social media. Cool. No, we can get it actually in front of people that you don't know, that they don't know, via print marketing. Okay, I'll talk to you more about that. Email marketing, of course, you can blast that out to your database in command. I will give you more tips on email marketing as far as how to get it out in front of more agents in the MLS, how to reverse prospect with it. I'll give you some details about that and how you can get more email addresses in order to maximize that email reach for that listing. And again, yes, sure, it might sell the listing, but really what it will do strategically is get you more referrals. Okay, and then your open house strategy, and we'll talk about that, creating a system around converting open house leads. But as far as telling them, right, if you do open houses for them, great, that's another strategy. So this is something that I would recommend saving. And again, if you want to edit this or rename it or anything, please just go ahead and click file and make a copy, and you're more than welcome to. And then, okay, now let's talk about the how, okay? But I just want to stress in this class, what's most important when you come to these classes is taking away that you can do these things, right? So when you can verbalize it when you go on these listing appointments and talk to people, right? To get more referrals and to land that listing. And then you can meet with us and we'll help you do it for free, right? All right, so just a reminder, if that is the case and that happens, right? KWB resources is how you book with us, and then marketing help. Tell them you can do it, come meet with us, and we'll make sure that you can. Okay. All right. I'm in a new tab. All right. So now I'm going to show you more of the how. Okay. And I am going to switch over to command. So if you can pull up a new tab, if you don't already have Command open, and go ahead and log in. Command again is agent.kw.com. That's why none of my passwords work. The keyboard's sticky, so bear with me. And again, guys, feel free anytime in this class to unmute yourself if there's something specific that you want to learn in what I'm saying. I'll absolutely answer that or private. Okay. So what I'm going to show you first is how you can get that listing out to more people than the MLS. Okay, we all know that the reality of listing marketing, a lot of times, especially depending on the market, is agents enter it into the MLS, and yeah, it does a lot of the legwork for you. It syndicates it out to 350 websites, Zillow, JuLeah, right, automatically for you. And that's on average what agents do, right? Agents in general will go ahead and put it in the MLS, and that in general reaches local individuals. Okay, so let me try this one more time. Thanks for your patience. All right, but what I'm going to show you is how you can actually run an ad in KW Command. Okay, and you might know that it does that. But one of my favorite things that Command does is, yes, you can run Facebook and Instagram ads right from there, but you can do it specifically targeted to where is receiving or sending and receiving the most referrals to Sharp. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. But we can run ads through Command, and I'll show you that how. 2 specific areas, so up to 10 different cities around the US. Okay, where should I run that to then? So if you can log into Command, probably been there, so thanks for the patience. But on the left side under KW on the left, if you can join me by clicking on the referral icon. Okay, it kind of looks like a location icon with a person in it. In general, what this section does is like an internal Facebook of source, communication source for Keller Williams agents all over the country. So you can connect. So if you go to family reunion or you go to an event, you can connect with agents, Keller Williams agents all over the country. So anytime that you get a referral or they get a referral for Charlotte, they already have you in their referrals here. Okay. And if you want to know more about that piece, again, that's where I would recommend going to answers.kw.com, type in referrals. All right, I'll tell you all about that. For today's class, though, if you can join me by clicking on the map option at the top, I'm going to show you how to pull up where the most referrals are coming from, so we strategically know which areas to run the ad to. Okay, so you'll notice again map. So I'm in the referral section of KW Command on the left-hand side menu, then map on the top white bar. And then what we'll need to do is click this production where it says production in the down arrow. You'll see referral patterns as an option. And for me, it always usually default. Keller Williams International is in Texas, so that's why it defaults there. So if you want, your computer knows your location, maybe it'll put Charlotte, but at the very least, the search bar at the top left there, if you start typing in Charlotte. Okay, but there's one more step. So search Charlotte. And now what we're looking at is referrals KW agents have send most commonly from Charlotte. So one more step here, you'll see these little icons at the top, right? And if you hover over, it says sent or received. We're going to change it to the arrow pointing into the box. Okay, and what this is doing is showing me a map of where the most referrals come to, or from, I'm sorry, to Charlotte, based on the city. So I can see, okay, on the left-hand side, yeah, I can hover over any of these little guys, right? But I can also see on the map on the left-hand side what those cities are named. This is very valuable because, as I'm going to show you in the next step, we can run an ad to up to 10 different cities at a time. Okay, an ad, just to give you an idea of ad cost, you can run a Facebook or Instagram ad for $3, as little as, I think it's $3.33. Recommendation is $50 ad spend, but $35. So my point being, it can be a pretty nominal cost on your side. And still you're delivering the boom to your listing client that, hey, I'm able to do something that other agents can't do. And that's getting your listing in front of top markets that are specifically looking in Charlotte, North Carolina. Especially if you get a listing with any sort of land, right? Even half an acre, quarter acre, that's huge for these Northeast cities. So now let me show you what to do with this, okay?
Sorry, I had a question real quick.
Yeah, please.
So how does that work in terms of you send out an ad to individual cities via Facebook?
Exactly. So, great question. So how it works, and I'll show you the how to set it up, but what it'll do is it'll show people who have specifically been looking for homes. So if they've been on realtor.com or Zillow, right, then what Facebook does is shows the ad to those people in that city who have been looking at other home sites on their Facebook and Instagram. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
And you said $3.40 per ad?
Well, it's as little as $3.33 a day. That's the minimum for Facebook and Instagram. And I can show you that right now if you'd like to.
So is it per platform?
Oh, no, I'll have to double check. It'll show us what it is, but it's usually what for Facebook and Instagram. I mean, the more you spend, the more reach, obviously. But the recommendation is $5 to $7 a day for 5 to 7 days. So it ends up being around $35 to $50. That's a recommendation. But again, you can run an ad for 1 day for $3.33. I don't recommend that per se. But yeah, like Google ads you can run through here as well, but it's a minimum spend of $250. And I don't necessarily recommend that for a product. So, and feel free to jump in with any other questions. I'm going to show you the how for this. Okay, we will make sure you do have to have a Facebook business page to be able to run an ad. So if you guys have questions on that, let me know. It does not post the ad on your page itself. Okay, so when you post it and you go to your Facebook, you won't see it. That will though show it on their timeline, right? You've seen ads when you go on Facebook, and that's what it looks like when they're scrolling their timeline. That property shows up. Okay. Now we'll need to make sure that your account is linked, your Facebook is linked to KW Command. This is something that we just have to do one time. It'll prompt us to do it. So again, where I am, and I'll take you through this, is in the campaign section. So on the left-hand side of the megaphone, anytime we're trying to blast something out in Command. And then the next action button will always be on the top right of Command. That this green button, it's on every page. That's what it wants you to do next. So any menu item you pick, then create campaign on the top right, that Kelly green button. You'll see a few different options, all of which we talked about for the listing marketing. This is how you do postcards, email out. You can schedule social posts, but for today, right now, we're going to do paid ads. So select that paid ad option. And it should tell you at this point, I think in this next part, if your Facebook account is not linked, it'll prompt you to. If that doesn't on this page, it will be the next one. So just wait for it, it'll prompt you. If it does pop up right here and it says, your Facebook account is not linked, just go ahead and click whatever it says. It'll basically ask you next. If you have any questions, just agreeing to what it says. Let me know if you have questions in the chat. I can help you through that. You just have to do that one time. All right, and once you do, this part is really important because you'll see, I mean, these are all the possible types of ads you can run. A little overwhelming if you scroll down, but there's just one main thing you need to focus on, and that's this blue bar here, okay? This blue bar, okay, you'll notice are on the top ones. Why that's so huge is, so when they click on the ad, so let's say they see this beautiful listing or whatever the listing is that you're selling, they click on the ad. Okay, before they go see the information on the listing, they will first be taken to a Facebook lead form. And why that's so great is because Facebook automatically autofills their contact information from their profile into the form and clicks. And so when they click submit, right, you know that's the correct info from their Facebook, and the lead goes directly into KW Command. Okay. So again, that last part is key too for your system setup, and I'll touch more on this. But what's so cool about running ads, like, okay, you could go to Facebook, right, and run an ad from there. Why would I run it from command? This is the answer is A, yeah, it goes in front of all people who are searching homes, first of all. But the real reason is, okay, once it captures that lead, it puts it right into your command database and can automatically trigger a follow-up. They're called smart plans. It automatically triggers, okay, sends them an email to follow up. 3 days later, reminds you to call them. 3 days later, it can text them automatically. Facebook ad leads are typically what we would call cold leads, right? They're just off the internet. They take almost double the touches to convert. So whereas your sphere or someone warmer in your life would take around 6 to 8 touches to get a referral, an average, cold leads from Facebook ads take around 13 touches to get a response, okay? So it is key that you have a system that automatically does it for you. And I will show you the how, but that's why we run it in command. So it goes right to your command database and follows up with them without you having to do it, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and select, I usually do the multi-image carousel, always the blue button, right? Always that blue Facebook lead form. And then you can do a single image or video. I might recommend the multi-image carousel for this one. Okay, and if you click on that, this might be where it prompts you to put in your Facebook page. Either way, when you get prompted, make sure to link your Facebook. It'll prompt you to log into your personal Facebook, but it recognizes your business page. Okay, and I'm going to scroll down slightly here so you can see what we're going to go over, and then I'll tell you the best practices for it. So you can technically, first of all, if you do not have a listing, and you want to work on growing your database, getting more leads, you can market other agents' leads. Sorry. You can market other Keller Williams Valentine agents' listings with their permission. Okay, on KWV Resources, there's a co-marketing agreement. I can show you guys this in more detail if you would like. That, let's say, PJ Kennedy has a sweet listing on the lake, right? You sign a piece of paper that says that you will watch to make sure that if it goes under contract, you don't market it still as active. And then you can reap the benefits on your social media and ads, okay? So just because you don't have a listing, this is still very valuable, and knowing that you can, of course, do this to get more listings. Okay, so what we're looking at here, yeah, was that a question?
Yes. So you're saying that with, I guess, permission, we're able to market other Keller Williams agents' listings. Would we be able to then represent the buyer that's interested if they don't have an agent?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, that would not be a conflict at all. Yeah, and just to be specific, it's Keller Williams Valentine listings only.
Okay.
So just to let you know. And I was going to pull up that co-marketing agreement. It's on kwvresources.com. Just to show you where this is, I would recommend this. And then if you hover over Office Resources at the top, you'll see forms and checklists from that dropdown. Right, typically you work with all your forms in DocuSign. These are like the backups or Office forms. But forms and checklists here, it will prompt you to log in, which I think is, I'll tell you. That login, that password is capital B, lowercase AMC 350. I'll put that in the chat too. So this is the password to get onto kwvresources.com. And I'll remember after that. BAMC, by the way, stands for Valentine Area Market Center, for context. Okay, so I'm under Office Resources. I hover over Office Resources, click on Forms and Checklists. And then under General Forms, okay, that's, I believe, where it is, and then we'll double check together here. You'll see it says Get Forms. And then the co-marketing agreement. Okay, I mean, if you want to sort by name or just search, whatever works for you. Of course, you can click on the header of like name, and it'll sort all in alphabetical order. If you want to do it that way, it's the co-marketing agreement. I'll throw it in the Zoom chat as well. Okay, but you'll notice if you open that up, it's pretty much just the listing agent's name, your name. Okay, the beginning date, and the fact that you are marketing, really all that, you do have to get the signature of the broker in charge and listing agent. But the main thing that you're signing on is that if it goes under contract, you will not still market it as that. That's the main takeaway from this. I'll put this in the chat. So feel free to jump in with any other questions, but now I'm gonna zoom back to the campaigns. So again, once you get whatever sweet listing, another color Valentine agent has, they want you to market the listing, right? It's a good thing for them, the listing agent. So don't be afraid to ask. They want to, they want you to. So essentially what we're looking at here is we'll connect the listing, okay? And it's gonna pull in all the images from the MLS for us to use. We're gonna pick the targeting of 10 different cities that we saw on that referral map. And then I'll tell you the best text strategies to convert those leads and where you should send them next, and then the budget, okay? So it is a few steps, as you can see. Bear with me, I'll take you through it. And if you have questions, just let me know. The listing section here, so at the top, right, please add your listing. I would just click on that and select any listing to play with. You'll notice when you click on that listing options, there's a filter. So when you're actually doing this, filters on the top left will allow you to search by the street address, or I usually like looking by the MLS ID because it pulls up it straightforward. I also search a lot by the listing agent, just to give you ideas. Let's see what the PJ has. If you have any listings worth you guys reaching out to market. Okay, so I searched PJ Kennedy. You can search any agent in our office or any property. It doesn't even have to be local for practice. All right, but you can go ahead and pull that up and you'll see the listing status here. Okay, and I'll go ahead and select, let's say one of the legacy ones. And once I select the listing from here, take your time if you're still finding it. I know it takes a minute. And then you'll click select on the bottom right. And that pulls in all the information and the photos from the MLS. And I'll show you that. Okay, the targeting is where that things get really cool. This is what we've really been talking about, right? With looking at what cities are sending the most referrals our way. So you can target those cities, which is impressive in itself. You're not just throwing marketing material out there. You're doing specific targeted marketing based on where the most activity is happening with the insider data that only you as a top real estate agent has. Kind of throwing scripts for you guys. So custom location, this is where we can put up to 10 different cities. So let's say, yeah, all right, I want it to run to Charlotte as well. Right, or Pineville, wherever the listing might be. Okay, yeah, I want it to be local too. So you can do half local cities, half on the referral map, right? And you'll notice the targeting radius that we can change that there. Typically I do leave it. However, now let's say we saw on the map, and if you guys need me to show you how to pull that map up again, I'd be more than happy to, but right in command, the referral sections on the left-hand side, let me know if you need steps to see that again. But let's say one of those I think is like Jersey City, or cities, as you can tell, is what you need to put in. So I can't just put California, right? And that's the whole state. No, we're doing specific cities here. And again, the best practice referencing the referral map to see where those are coming. Is that Charles? Which I think that was on. Let me know if you have any questions on that. We can do zip code too, looks like. If you can search by zip codes too, just heads up. I just did 28173, for example, and got marked. All right, so again, I would recommend you can put in those 10 locations, or you can leave it in less, right? It won't affect the amount of people it gets in front of. Like if you select less areas, it'll just be more people in those areas. So let me know if you have questions on that. I'm going to scroll down actually past the text section so I can show you the photos first, and then I'll tell you the strategy on the text. Okay, so it's pulling from the MLS, these images, right? It'll be 5 different images here. A lot of times in the MLS, it's like this, right, where the first 5 photos are all exterior. Okay, I don't necessarily want that, right? So what you can do to change one out is you simply click on the photo. And then you can scroll, these are all the images from the MLS, right? Top rooms that sell a house are typically the kitchen, the living room. Okay, I forget the difference between a great room and a living room, so you get it, the main room, right? So kitchen, living room, and the primary are the 3 rooms that sell houses typically. So I always remember that and try to pick my choices accordingly. Okay, so I'll select, let's say, a picture of the kitchen here, and I clicked on confirm on the bottom, and I'll show you that again. Now I can go to the next image. Scroll through, let's say, find, it's always harder when it's not staged like this, right? Aerial photos work too. As far as the order you put them in, this is helpful to know. It doesn't matter what order you put them in here, because what's cool is the algorithm on Facebook and Instagram, when you launch the ad, it's going to launch it out with the 5 photos in every order that you can imagine. Okay, to see if what performs the best for you, right? So it switches the order. And what's even cooler is, let's say one photo is the one that always gets the clicks, right? They scroll, and every time it's a kitchen that does it, right? Well, in that case, then it will start leading with the kitchen only. And let's say the bathroom got no clicks, it'll take that one out again to dynamically help your ad strategy. It switches around the listing photos, which I love. Very cool. So it doesn't matter the order, but selecting those 5 photos here. I do like, if there's a nice back porch, it's always a winner. Okay, so those are the 5 photos. If you have questions, let me know. I know I'm going a little fast through that, but I more want to show you the strategy, and again, give you the resources to jog your memory on the how. We'll do it with you. Right, we'll sit down and do this together. Or answers.kw.com. We'll walk you through this, of course. All right, so body text and headlines. Okay, so the strategy here is, so they're seeing the listing on, imagine you're on Facebook and you see an ad, okay? And let's say it's this pair of shoes that you've been wanting, right? You don't see the information, the full information about the shoes until you click on that, right? Because why? What do they want from you? Your contact information, right? That's how you capture the contact information too. Meaning, it's really important that we get them to click so that you capture the lead. So strategically withholding certain information to get them to click on it to, let's say, find out the address. So we never put the address in the body text, okay? It will autofill based on AI. You can keep it, not usually crazy about it. I do use ChatGPT quite a lot for this, but I'm going to tell you how I do it with ChatGPT and what to strategically withhold. So first of all, if I'm using ChatGPT for this, I tell it to give me Facebook ad for the body text. So giving it this context, body text in this amount of characters, and a headline in this amount of characters, okay, for the listing. You can give it the listing, like either upload a photo or a link to it. I think it'll do it. All right, and what it will do is, and this is the goal, and you want to explicitly tell ChatGPT that your goal is to get them to click on the ad so you capture the lead. That's important so it can strategically analyze what information not to put in it. It's not a social post. A social post, I would put the address almost first, right? In this case, I want them to click. Okay, so some strategies that I've seen really work is withholding the address always, non-negotiable, okay? Depending on the price point, right, I'll include it or not. So if you say, let's say, stunning Marvin home at a great deal, let's say, at a great price. And again, ChatGPT will make it better than I just articulated that. However, what the strategy with that is I don't see the price, but it's a great deal. I need to get it now. I need to click on the ad so that I see the price, and that's when you capture the lead. But again, telling ChatGPT this, I would recommend it. It'll give you great options. I can always meet with you, but that's the main strategy, withholding information. Address, price is one of them. However, the price can be a good convert. You know, if it's a $300,000 home, you don't see much of those anymore, right? So that can really convert. And I can always talk strategy with you on your listing specifically when the time comes. Okay, a couple more things. This is more admin oriented. So I'm going to show you what you'll do if you forget. We'll do it together. Okay. But what this next section is saying, so where should they go? So after they click on the ad, right, it automatically puts in their contact info from Facebook and they click submit. Where do you want them to go next? I have the answer for you. Okay. But that's what we're answering here. Okay. And where we want them to go next is the listing page on your website, okay? So that when they click on the ad and submit their contact info, then they're taken to the full listing information, price, you name it, and all with your contact information, so they can even browse more properties. So let me show you the how real quick on that. So what we're gonna do is pull up a new tab to pull up your website. And this is always what you'll do for Facebook ads and command in my recommendation for listings. Strong recommendation. Go to your public facing website. So if someone like your client was going to go to your website and search for homes, that's what we're pulling up. It's normally something like your first and last name .kw.com. It usually correlates to your email address too, but it's typically your first and last name .kw.com. If you're not sure what that is, I can give you tips on how to find that. Feel free to drop in the chat if you need help locating. But what we're doing is then putting in the address of the listing that we're doing this for. Okay, so what I would do, and you're doing an open house, you can always grab this and put this anywhere on your websites, on your socials, I mean. Okay, but what we're doing is searching the property address on our website, specifically yours. Okay, and go ahead and click on it. And for today's class, you can literally click on any listing, just click search, just to get an idea of what this does. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is the property details page. And if you haven't looked through the property details pages on your website, it's actually really cool where, yeah, okay, it tells them all the information from the MLS. That's great. Your contact information is always on the right here, right? If they search other homes on your site, but it shows them upcoming open houses, estimated monthly payments. What I really like though, is the neighborhood section as well. Okay, this is kind of a side step real quick, but this neighborhood section, right? You're trying to specialize in a certain neighborhood. This gives you on your website all about the neighborhood itself, a mini CMA, right? For every neighborhood out there. So I'll come back to that to teach you how you can really utilize that for your listings, but just know that that's there right there, because if you click on it, right, you can share any of these links to your Facebook. You want to promote a property, you want to promote a neighborhood, great, click on it. Click on the URL, copy and paste it to a Facebook post, and boom, it's sharing valuable information right to your website. Okay, but what we're doing right now, right, is yes, we pulled up the property on our website. So all we're doing is on the very top bar, the URL bar, right, URL bar where the website address is. Go ahead and fully highlight it and copy it. Okay, so we're just really grabbing the URL to the listing on your website. And going back to the tab that would say campaigns on it. So it'll also have a KW logo, campaigns. And this is something you'll need to know. See how it autofills with the HTTPS? Highlight that to just highlight it and delete it first, so it doesn't duplicate the HTTPS, because it'll automatically come in. All right, we're just pasting in that URL, just again, spot checking. You don't have two HTTPSs there, and clicking preview URL if you're unsure to make sure that that goes to the right spot. And again, what we just set up is after they see the listing on their Facebook, they click on it, their info autofills from Facebook, and that's where they're taken to see all the information on the property on your website. Okay. I just quickly here for lead settings and tags. This is important for setting up a system, which I'm going to do for the next part of class, is setting up a system around your listing marketing to get more leads and referrals from that. But what the takeaway would be here is, okay, when that lead comes in from the Facebook ad, you want it to be automatically tagged in your command database? The answer is yes. Okay, so like let's say I put in Facebook ad. It won't be there already. I have one created, but I did that. So if you want to type in, let's say Facebook ad and click create as new tag, it'll create that new tag. And what that's saying is these leads from the ad, and I keep saying Facebook, but it runs on Facebook and Instagram. If you have your Facebook and Instagram linked to the Facebook settings, I can always help you with that. So it does run on both. But so you can tag that anything you want automatically. And I'm going to come back to this because I'm going to give you guys, we create for our clients a follow-up plan for all Facebook ad leads so they don't have to deal with it. Since you came to today's class, I'm going to give that to you for, for being here and show you how to implement it. So every Facebook ad and open house, I'll give you that one too. Okay, automatically gets followed up. Okay, that's what we're going to do for this last 15 minutes here. All right, so leave smart plan blank, but what that's saying is, what system do you want them to go on next? Lastly, on the bottom here, leave the compliance as the default and click proceed to last step. And this is just where we talk about the budget and the runtime. And so just to reiterate the strategy here, right? So you'll see a map or calendar rather right here. So you can pick when that's going to start and end. The strategy is, like for the most effectiveness, $5 to $7 a day for around 5 to 7 days. Right. So around $7 a day per week would be the most effective thing that you could do. However, starting a whole business, if money's tight, right, but you still want to show your listing that you are doing this, you can change the daily spend over here, right? This is the budget. So anytime you toggle, all right, it'll adjust your daily spend. Okay, so the minimum, it'll like yell at you if you're too low. As you can see, there is a minimum. And that's why I was referring to that $3.33. But again, main takeaway is I would recommend, especially if it's your first ad, $35 would be honestly sufficient. Okay. And depending on your goals, I can advise on that as well. But then you can leave your credit card information, click purchase now, and bada boom, bada bing. You just run a Facebook and Instagram ad, getting that listing out to people you don't know, right? That's why we're paying for it. This is not your Facebook friends that are seeing it. These are people you don't know in other countries, right? Different cities or local, right? But you do not have them in your database, right? Currently, that's why you're paying to get in front of them. You guys have any questions? Feel free to throw them in chat or just unmute. Because the final thing I'm going to show you, and this is awesome, is setting up a system. Because great, you can have all the leads coming in the world, and if you don't have a system around how they're getting followed up with, you're going to get really overwhelmed really quick, and they will fall through the cracks. Okay, so let me show you how you set up the system. Command does it for you. Okay. So I would click save as draft. So you have this in here to reference as a test. Again, you can always meet with me and I can help you. Okay. But so if we're going to now go back to command, it kind of, so if you're looking at what I'm looking at, you can click back to campaigns on the top left. I think that'll take us back to command. Yeah. If you're you lost that tab, no worries. If you pull up a new tab and just go back to command agent.kw.com. I'm going to now show you how to create the automatic follow-up system for Facebook leads and open house leads. Okay, so I'm going to show you both of that. So I'm coming back to the Facebook lead follow-up. However, before I show you both of those systems, I need to show you the best practice for open house marketing, getting them in here, right? So we just talked about getting leads in from a Facebook ad, right? People we don't know, unmet, Williams calls them. Obviously, another way you get unmets in your database, open house leads, okay? So what's the most direct way to get them to sign in at your open house? And they directly go into your command database and automatically start on a follow-up by the time they're leaving the door. They're getting a text from you saying, how's the open house? Feel free to give feedback, right? So let me show you the start to this, and then we're gonna set up systems for both lead conversion. If you still have the website open, like your website with the property, if you want to switch to that page, we can use that one, or just pulling up any property on your website. This is one of my favorite features of Command, especially if open houses are your goal. This gives you a system. You know who to call, which day, how frequently, based on the best practices used by top agents. Okay. So to show you this, again, pull up a property on your website. If you need more instruction on that, let me know. But, right, we're looking at the property info here. All you do, very cool, on the top URL bar, click so that the cursor is blinking. So I don't want it all highlighted like we did before. Click again so the cursor is blinking at the end. So I can type / open house. So it's just / which is under the question mark, open house. And it'll load for a second. And what it's going to do is take this property page and convert it to an open house signage. Very cool. Okay, I'll tell you why it's so cool. So first of all, and I'll tell you like how to implement this. So what you're looking at is, yeah, all the photos. And then this is the open house signage. Right. So if you have usually like a physical list that they sign in, you know, I don't recommend not having that, especially for older individuals that might come by if they want to sign in. I like having the option, okay? But the most effective, efficient way to do it for you so that the leads go right to command and automatically start getting followed up with, right, would be, okay, so this open house page, what you can do is, first of all, like this URL, you can share it anywhere, create a QR code from it, which I would recommend. Okay, so the two options being, let's say you have your laptop with the open house or an iPad, you can just pull this up on your laptop and have them just go ahead and sign in right from your laptop so you can see the check in the boxes and click submit. And if it helps, I find that the script of, you know, the sellers just want everyone to sign in just for security reasons, right? They're usually happy to do so. So that's one option. You can have like your laptop open for them to fill this out. Or another option is you can create a QR code from that. And so like you might see at open houses, agents will have a framed and a QR code. If you're like, how do I create a QR code? Scott Ware Marketing can do it for you. Canva can do it for you. I can give you more info. But if you have a QR code framed at the door, they can scan it and sign in straight from there as they're coming in. I do typically like the idea of it being on your laptop or device so you have a little more control over, well, I can scan the QR code and do nothing, right? However, you know, telling them that you would see that came in successfully when they sign the QR code might be helpful. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And I would recommend this so you can see what this open house lead looks like. So if, again, you're looking at this open house sign-in page, if you want to go ahead and put in your info. And the check boxes, I just want you to see what comes next. So again, this is the open house person coming by. Okay, so if this was on your device, right, you have them sign in on your device, then this pops up next. So let's say they do want the full property info, you can tell them from your device, you scan that QR code on my screen, and that'll give you all of the property information, your contact information, more importantly, right on their phone. So it's kind of like a virtual flyer that they now have on their phone that they can come back to this list. So this again is what pops up after they sign in for the open house. But now let me switch to talk to you about the back end. What does the system look like for follow-up? Because, and feel free to jump in with any questions. We're going to switch back to command so that I can give you that system first. Then I'm going to set it up with you so it automatically happens with any open house leads and any Facebook ad leads. So this next part I'm gonna show you, you will need to do it with me. We're gonna do it one time, and then every Facebook ad lead and every open house lead will be on a system of follow-up moving forward forever, which is awesome. Okay. So first of all, let's go get those systems. Those smart plans is what Command calls them. Right. So on the left-hand side, you'll see a to-do list with a settings gear here. Those are smart plans. What smart plans mean is essentially just setting up systems, right? Your follow-up. So it gives you reminders, call reminders, it can text for you, it can email for you. But the idea is it's really taking the mental load off of you because it's telling you who you need to follow up with each day or doing that for you. And doing it in a way that's not every single day you're annoying them. No, how many days should I wait? Well, guess what? We have that data. Command has that data. And so it gives you that. So smart plans on the left-hand side and library. You will need to follow me to get these. I'm going to give you the open house follow-up that we use for our clients and the Facebook one. So smart plans and then library. And then under the smart plan name, let me make sure it comes up JuLeah Designs before you do it. Okay, yeah. So if you can just type in the search bar here, JuLeah Designs. Okay, these are, we've shared these like in the library, and no one really can find them unless you know this trick, so way to go. So JuLeah Designs here, and the two that I would really recommend for today's class, Facebook ad follow-up, okay? That means any ad is gonna automatically follow up. You'll see like Joel's name or other agents, we put it in their accounts. You can ignore that, that's just showing who shared it, like what account it was shared from. Doesn't matter, no one else will see that. All we do is click on add smart plan under, so we're doing the Facebook ad follow-up, the second one here, add smart plan. You can edit it and click download. And then the other one I would recommend. It looks like we just had the two Facebook ad follow-up. It's the same exact thing, it's just duplicated, so either one. The open house follow-up looks like it's the third-ish row down. Okay, grab that one too. Okay, if this will pop up, so when you click add smart plan, it puts them on other smart plans as well. The takeaway is being click download on the right hand side of any that aren't downloaded, and then click download, and I'll add it to your smart plans. It just doesn't like it on my screen because I already have it. Okay, so again, we did all of that so far from the smart plans library section. We searched JuLeah Designs, and we're going to pull in the Facebook ad one and the open house one. Okay. All right, and so now let's look at it. So I'm going to show you how to look at it so you can make any changes to it to make it you, right? Make it yours. So now where those will sit once you add those is under my smart. And these blue boxes drive me crazy. They pop up every time. Thank you for notifying me, but I would X out on the right hand side so you can actually see under here. Okay, and you'll see the My Facebook ad one, and then you'll probably see the open house one after, right? So, and then to edit it and see what it looks like, you can simply click on the pencil icon on the far right. I'll do it for the Facebook ad one first, but this would apply to open houses. So pencil icon on the far right. Okay. I know this looks like a lot, but really all you need to focus on is the center here, okay, for starters. So the center here is telling you on day one, so right after that Facebook ad lead comes in, right, or right after the open house, either one, it will send this, it'll do step one. Then you'll see it waits 3 days, and then it will do this next step, step two. So you can see it waits that many days, 4 days, and then it does that, right? These durations, by the way, are based on the top strategies to not increase unsubscribes, to not come across salesy and annoying, but instead, yeah, people are busy, right? How many days would warrant a follow-up, right? So this is all strategically based, okay? Now, if you want to see what it says, of course, I recommend it. And you can add to this too. You simply click on the step. So for day one, let's say it sends an email. You'll say it says hi and it fills in the contact name. Anytime you see these brackets and like in blue like this, that's a merge field, which means it'll autofill from their contact record what their name, whatever applies. So you'll see what it says right here. Gives them your app link. And then I would recommend adding your name to the bottom of it on here. So just how you would edit it and put your information on the bottom there. If you click on the pencil icons, I clicked on the email, so I can see it on the right hand side. And just a heads up how you edit it is the pencil icon on the top right. So that you could, if this doesn't sound like you, rephrase it, ask ChatGPT, what's the best strategic way, verbiage to follow up with a Facebook ad lead. Oh, the recordings are all on, there's a YouTube channel for KW Valentine, and the recordings are also on kwbresources.com. It'll usually post in about 3 days, but yeah, feel free to reach out if you can't find that, and I'd be happy to send it to you. All right, so you can add any information right here and click Save Changes. Okay, I just need to before class ends. Okay, there's just one last step. If you can wait for a minute, there's one last step here. Okay, that would make it all done. So click Save Plan on the top right if you made any changes. And if you're looking at the editing field, right, make sure you click Save Changes on the bottom to get out of this, and then Save Plan on the top. Okay, this is the final step, and you just have to do it one time. You can come back and review what they are, like what the smart plans say. This won't go out to anyone with what we're doing, but what I'm going to do now is show you, there's just a couple steps on how we can make it so any lead that comes in from any open house form on your website, like we saw, will automatically kickstart that smart plan. Any lead from the Facebook ad will automatically start this smart plan. So to do that, you can click on your name on the top right of command, click my name on the top right, and settings from that drop down. Okay, this should just take a minute here. We just have to do it one time ever, and I can always do it with you, right? But your name on the top right, settings. And then on the left hand side, let's click on command settings. And then contacts. And lastly, lead management. I'll say it again. Okay, so what I did in command, my name on the top right, settings. On the left hand side, we went to command settings, contacts, and then lead management. I find it to be quite a few steps just to get here, but then we just have to do it one time, and it's pretty easy. Okay, so yours will probably be blank, but see where it says create role on the top right? I click on create role. Okay, role title. So if you want to do the open house one or the Facebook ad one, whichever one. So let's say, and only you see this, the role title. So this Facebook ad lead, let's say, or open house. Okay, lead source right here. Okay, if it's for a Facebook ad, right? If you type in Facebook, you'll see Facebook ad lead. It wouldn't hurt to go ahead and select the other Facebook, but typically it's just that Facebook ad lead one. But so it's asking, okay, where did that lead come from? So anytime we get a Facebook ad lead, what do you want to happen? This is what we're answering every time. So every time I get a Facebook ad lead, I want them to be tagged, right, with that Facebook tag that we made. Okay, so let's say I wanted to auto tag. So this is the real kicker, guys. This is really important. The assign to smart plans. This is what auto picks the smart plan that we were just looking at to start running, right? When a Facebook ad lead comes in, which smart plan do you want to start running? And the answer would be, I think it's for Facebook, type in FB if you don't see it at the top. I want that one. And then on the bottom, you can click on create role. And that's it. So every single time that a Facebook ad lead comes in, it'll now automatically tag them and start them on that lead follow-up automatically. And I can do that for open houses as well. If you have to run, that was the main chunk of it. Feel free to book with us and I can tell you anything else you need to know. But if you want to see how it works for the open house side, same concept, but for lead source here, I would recommend, it's not the bottom one, whatever that is, open house where it says site here. So saying anytime they sign in on that open house sign-in sheet, right, that I showed you how to make by just typing / open house on the URL bar. Every time it comes in from the open house sign-in sheet on your site, right? I want it to be tagged what? Open house. Okay. And I want them to go on the smart plan that I gave you guys. The JuLeah Designs open house follow-up. And you can go back and review those. It's not going to send them anything right now, right? If you do an open house or run an ad, that's when this would happen. Click create role. I already have this role. And you're done. That means now moving forward, your systems, your lead follow-up systems are strategically set up to convert your Facebook ad leads and your open house leads. And you can of course build on those smart plans, but that gives you a great structure to start on. Again, if you need to leave, please feel free. Just the last thing to tell you is how you see, let's say, okay, what'll happen on the smart plan? Let's say you get an open house lead. It sends them an email automatically, but then 3 days later tells you to call them, right? How you see those call notifications telling you who to call, again, strategically in the time frame of when their open house was. If you have a Saturday and Sunday open house, right? I'll stagger it strategically on the time frame, and that's all in command. I like to do this on my app, command app. If you don't have that on your phone, get it for this. Because what happens in the tasks section of your command app is it tells you, right? You can always check this, should check this every day to see, okay, who do I need to be calling today to, based on the strategy of my open house leads. And when you're doing it from your phone, guys, the reason I recommend the tasks on your phone for this is it gives you a little phone icon next to anyone that you're supposed to call for that day. So if you call from there, it calls from your number, but then when you hang up, it says, command asks you how the conversation went and asks you to leave notes. So then next time that contact pulls up, it reminds you to call them. You can see exactly what you guys just talked about the last time that you called. So it creates a system around your calls if you're doing that from the command app. And I know that was just a quick overview on that side. Feel free to meet with us and I can show you the system in person. We can do any of that together. Reminder that kwbresources.com and marketing help is how you book with us every other week for free. We're happy to help you guys strategically implement this. And of course, if you need leverage, of course, we can do any of these things for you. So feel free to email us and I can always give you a quote. KW Valentine agents get a great discount on our services just for being you. So if you need help with that, contact JuLeahDesigns.com. But again, we're happy to help you for free. Just come meet with us. All right, guys, any questions, drop it in the chat. I'm here for it. Otherwise, thanks for coming to class and come for next class next Thursday at 12:30. Right, we'll be building on this each week. Just gonna see what the topic is.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. How's it going, Nathan?
Going good. I think I'm sure the video's on KW Resources, but I was trying to set up my social media banner.
Oh, yeah. Are you using Canva?
No, I was just the one that you guys made for me. I was just
Oh.
trying to figure out how to implement it into the.
Oh, we can help you with that. Shoot me an email. I can help do it for you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Thanks for popping up. Feel free to shoot me an email with any questions. And I'm happy to help. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, Joanne.
Bye.